Welcome back to Shadows Over Loathing. I was in the Hobo camp. I was talking to different people. Cornelius from the corn maze. Oh, hi, thanks for the tip about this place. Everyone's been really appreciative about my corn, my cooking skills. Guess I was being selfish before. It does feel good to share and help folks out. No, that's great. So you've been doing a lot of cooking? Yep, been making a lot of corn meals. Out of cornmeal. Anything I can do for you? What's cooking? I tried a few different things, but everyone liked my cornbread best. So, mainly just cornbread. Here, let me cut you a piece, and thanks for helping me out. Cornbread is so delicious, I can't even make a joke about it. I just want some cornbread. It really is delicious, though. I do love it. Jalapeno cornbread or like honey rosemary, something like that. Play around with it. Amazing. Increase maximum HP and gives HP regen. Ooh, thanks. Anything else? Can I have more cornbread? You bet, although since you ain't strictly speaking a hobo, I need to charge you a little bit for the ingredients. We got plenty of corn, but the lard and salt and so on are in short supply around here. Sure, fair enough. I got a cat trying to steal pens off my desk here 2 inches away from me. Maybe later. I do not remember genuinely why I had come here and was talking to all the hobos. I believe I sent someone here and I was following up for them. The doctoring the evidence. Maybe I was going around trying to figure out the doctoring the evidence. At the time that I set down the previous episode, I intended to immediately record the next one, so my head would be in the middle of remain in the middle of the quest that I was in. But it didn't work out that way. I needed to be elsewhere. So, Gray County all around, the doctoring the evidence is the main thing, and I'll just keep talking about the hobos to see if they got more stuff for me. Point me left the swamp, is growing herbs for the kitchen. Cooking up a pot of beans. Good to see ya, but that's all he really wants to get into. Doesn't want to share deep secrets of his life or anything. Well, that was where I most thought that would be relevant. Playing the harmonica. He's practicing a lot. The guy who leans. I don't think that's going to have anything to do with doctoring anything. Hi there, Samuel. Were you able to find any work? That's a shame. Well, how's the camp treating ya? Yeah, we've talked to these characters before. Basically, just at this point, I'm just going to see if anyone has anything doctoring to do. I can talk to him about all the different things around the hut. There's nothing like hobo code that I hadn't previously been able to read that I'm now able to. Nothing's changed with any of that, I think. All of this is still same as it's been. Well, the hobos are... Oh, there, this guy's got a doctor thing. Hello, need anything surgeried, surgified, surgeonated? Not just now, thanks. Can you spare first aid supplies? Sure, here you go. Use them in good health. No, wait, that would be wasteful. Wait until you were in bad health. Briquette, gauze pad, eye drops, we have had all of those before. Oh wait, I asked this guy about his plans, and maybe I hadn't done that before? I feel like I had, but you've been extraordinarily helpful with your aid. The population of the camp has grown enormously. I believe I can trust you enough to reveal my full plan to you. I clicked past that, assuming that it was the same stuff he said to me before, but no, I think I crossed some sort of minimum threshold of hobos in this camp. Oh, what is it? I am reliably informed that there is a small, sparsely inhabited island in the Eastern Ocean that is somehow unaffected by the passage of time. My intention is to gather up as many hobos as possible and sail there to establish a marvelous, sparkling city of total freedom, unimpeded by the country's laws and social mores. And I shall name that city Hobopolis. Which both makes me think of the Lord of the Rings, like the elven land that they all go to live out their immortal lives. But also then Hobopolis just makes me think of when Homer Simpson is losing his mind with like trampoline. That sounds fantastic. And thanks to you, I believe I have enough people to make this fantasy a reality. I'm in your debt, Grammy. I cannot imagine there are many more hobos out there that would join our cause. But please, locate them if you can. Okay. I'm on it. I think there's a hobo at the school that specifically wants like one of the mugs that I sold infinitely away. I think that something like that was connected, and I might be kind of screwed on, and it just is my fault. So, whoops, I guess. Now, where this cat? What are you doing? What's your plan here? This is Banjo. I believe she's probably come up in videos before, just doing her own thing, being a little gremlin. She's got a lot of energy, and she's a rubber ball of a cat. She just like bounces off walls and is just a little bit of a psycho. Well, I guess I'm gonna just try and push forward with some of these other things then. I will go to the Macmillican farm to obtain the paperweight. Is that what it said that I was going back there for? I got places to be. Might as well push forward. Hopefully I'll find a doctor along the way. Across the road, you notice a field of what you're pretty sure is high mana sorghum. You cross the road to get a better look, and the overwhelming smell of mana in the air confirms your suspicions. Pick up some sorghum. You gather it up and squeeze the mana out of it, while saying sorghum, 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 over and over. What a great word. We got the glowing ooze, glowing green goo. Perhaps one day the world will be ready for the secret of it. The secret that is, in fact, ooze and not goo at all. Sorghum. Sorghum is how you closed it. That guy's having a time. Oh my god, man. They're just sheep. They're fine. They're pretty tame. The farmer seems very upset about something. Very. Everything okay? Nah, buddy, ain't a great flock of giant ducks has only invaded my farm, and he's all over the place here. They got into all me outbuildings. Oh, did you want some help with that? Och, well, standing here waving my arms and yelling isn't having much effect, and I could do with a honey reckon, hey? And I got great numpty with a hound. With a hand, I guess. A hand. Okay, I'm on it. Ducks everywhere, I'm telling you. The barrow, the dung steed, the gurnal, the eekbrock, the slopping schlielen, the steamy. Well, what's a gurnal? What do you think a gurnal is? It's a gurnal. It's for sorting gearns, isn't it? I'm sure that makes sense. How about a barrow? It's a pile of stones what we bury the barrows under, and barrows for the barrows. Didn't you kin? Deacon? I don't even know what accent it's supposed to be, so I'm just jumping around between some form of Scottish, Irish, Hick, German. I don't know where I'm going with it. What's the barrow again? Just to make him say it again? I did like that one. What about the ice broach, or like ickbrock? It's the brock we keep the ice in. Well, what's a brock? The thing we keep the ice in. Are you nay listening? I think it's supposed to be like Scottish. And the dungstead? It's for ripening the manure in. I'd have thought it started out pretty ripe as it is. Well, could always be riper. I see. Well then, what's a steamy? What's for doing the laundry and all? We take our baths there too. Nothing like a hot bath after a hard darg. Hard darg. Well, I thought I saw. Well, what's up, dog, then? Ducks! Of course, right. Well, the slop and sheelin'. It's the sheelin' we use for slog hopping. I mean, hog slopping. Oh, I did the same thing. I got it backwards. Criven's the blethering is doing me hayden. Sure. What's butt for? It's to keepin' the sticky fay burning your lips. Nice try, you whippin'. Shucks. I almost got him, I guess. Hard to say. You just want to eat the sheep, though, I'm guessing, right? Probably. These homes? Human homes? The farmhouses? Yeah, people live there. Seems like they're all abandoned now, though. Pretty good. Tall metal, noisy machine, black smoke. Good style. Misjudged humans? Well, the machinery was added after the fact, and the people moved away because they didn't like it. Knew it. Humans stupid. He's had no opinion on these tasty-looking sheep, eh? Doesn't want to take a chomp out of those. This pile of firewood is a disorganized mess. Stack it up. Here we go. We're just going to leave it at that. Okay, well, I really thought that it would, like... I actually don't know. I don't know what I was trying to achieve there. An silent anvil next to a roaring forge. Not pictured. Beat your plowshare into a sword. Okay. You divert some assets from infrastructure to warfare. Beaten sword. This metal is once again capable of violence. Deals muscle plus 6 physical. It's a very straight up normal sword. I feel like it would be like the type of sword you would see in Kingdoms of Loathing. This Milligan Gutty steamy hut. You hear a lot of splashing and loud duck noises coming from inside. Am I gonna have to kill all these ducks? You open, I do like eating duck, I will say. You open the door to a room full of tin baths and wash tubs, plus a couple large stoves for heating water on. Giant ducks are splashing around in the tubs, boiling big buckets of water to fill the room with steam, and just generally having a raucous sauna party. I will turn up the heat. What with all the steam? The ducks don't notice you enter right away. You throw more coal on the fires and stoke them extra hot, and soon the whole steamy is boiling hot enough to run an industrial turbine. Ducks start fainting left and right, and the more resilient ones stagger outside and stumble away panting. You drag the fainted ones to the barn and lock them inside for safekeeping. Okay then. Apparently a shieling is a sort of hut or shed. This one smells like a place where pigs eat, which is an idea reinforced by the rows of feeding troughs full of ripening garbage, and several large barrels of leftover cooking oil. A gang of huge ducks seems to have taken particular interest in the oil and are gooshing it around the place and generally wrecking everything with wild abandon. These ducks look like real slippery characters, made all the more so by that cooking grease they're throwing around. They're just gonna cook themselves up, and then that would be great for us, really. I'll chase them out of there rather than fighting. I'll avoid the fighting if I can, for the ducks, for whatever reason, when I normally kill everything else in sight. You weather the storm of gross oil and verbal abuse, and boot the ducks out of the shieling. It's pretty easy, since they're so lubed up it only takes one boot to make them slide right out the door and into the barn. Well, okay then. This is the gurnal. Apparently that's a grain silo, not where you go to make funny faces. The gurnal is where you store the gurn. The noises coming from inside it are about what you would expect to hear from several giant ducks who have found their way into an actual grain silo. You climb the ladder and peer in. A bunch of very large and now even larger ducks, because they're just chunky on grains, are swimming around happily in max grain. Much like I would if the silo was full of mini marshmallows. There's mini marshmallows, I don't know about that. I tried to see how many I could eat in one sitting once, and I think I made it to about 600 and I threw up. So that's how I feel about mini marshmallows. I have to fight. I think I'm like probably just shy of having what I need. Oh, they're so veiny. I really strongly dislike that about them. Oh god, it's just called the big veiny duck. And a duck minion that's going to attack, it's telekinetically going to slap, and it's going to just bite. Well, yeah, I don't want to deal with these at all. I will do what I can to do away with them. He's freaking me out a little bit is the main thing here. Just kind of a nasty critter. Oh, that'll mostly do away. Perfection. Oh, I didn't even see that one up there. Well, I could have spread the damage around, but it's going to work out anyways. You won! It takes more than a few fat ducks to stop you from stopping a few fat ducks? Hard duck leg. Oh, you don't get items if you don't fight them. This thing is way too heavy to eat, no matter how hungry you were when you got to this medieval-themed fair. Muscle damage, and physical, and reduces mysticality. Iron-rich pate. If you serve this pate on a flag, the stains it leaves will be a real red flag about its blood content. That joke is... It's both very few steps to bridge the gap between them and still a reach too far for me. This building is, well, it's not so much a building as a huge pile of manure, so you're ripening manure in a big dome of manure. For some reason, probably a horrible one, it's been excavated into a sort of cave. You hear a bunch of giant ducks quacking away happily in there. It seems unreal that anything could be happy to be anywhere near it. Your eyes start to water as you peek inside. A few large and extremely filthy ducks are lounging around in there. It's unclear if they were filthy to begin with, or if that's just the natural result of the situation. I could go throw on a stench handkerchief thing, but I'll just fight him. Dive in, weapons first. These ones aren't veiny, so they're big ducks, but they're not big fattened ducks. They're just a big smelly duck. Oh, so like each one was probably going to have its own variation on the ducks. Oh, I'm using the wrong one. Well, that was a huge waste. Oh, because he has stench resistance. That makes sense, and I probably should have been paying closer attention to it. That's fine. Doesn't matter so much when you kind of know that you can just kill everything anyways, so yeah, I'm not too worried. It does make me a little bit wish that I had spent the time to see what the different types of ducks would have all been, and maybe they would have all had different items to give that are related to the type of duck they were. You won. Now quick, go before somewhere it's safe to inhale. Go find somewhere safe to inhale. You're starting to turn blue. Pâté de toilette. This blended duck liver delicacy is an important part of your morning ablutions. Ablutions? Ablutions? What the hell? That's just not the word I thought I was about to read. Ablutions. I don't know that, actually. Increase stench armor by 6 until you eat something else. There's ice, the ice block. There's a big block of ice just sitting here. I guess someone forgot to haul it into the brooch. It doesn't seem to be melting for some reason, but wasn't it a brock? Wasn't it a brock? There's a big block of ice just sitting here. I guess someone forgot to haul it. Okay, enchanted. No matter how much ice you chip off this thing, it's still the same size. Oh, the speakeasy. I thought there was something that I had taken notes on that had to do with a giant block of ice. The basement, nope, nothing to go there. The giant block of ice at the fridge factory. Was it that I needed a giant block of ice or that it was going to provide one? I've been keeping an eye out for that for so long. I knew that I needed it for something. It was the first note I ever made. I better go deal with that. And sorry, Speakeasy, you might just have to serve warm drinks. This old stone tower has been converted into a storage shed for storing ice, if Macmillican Cuddy is to be believed. And why wouldn't he be? It's his farm. You look in the door and find several huge ducks chilling inside. Literally chilling, sitting on big blocks of ice. These ducks really don't seem to mind the cold at all. Maybe they're the sort that fly north for the winter. I break the ice, or I fight them. Wow, look at their glassy eyes. Did he just fart ice cubes at me? What the hell was that, man? No thanks, big freezing duck. Instead of like freaking or something. It belches ice cubes. I don't think the other one belched. If I had to put a word to what I bore witness to, I don't think that was it. It was much more offensive than that. Really harmed, really an attack on my good moral sensibilities, you know? I don't have the tolerance for such behavior. You won. You really put those ducks on ice. Or off, rather. Pile of crushed ice. These bits of ice, like the dreams of the water they are made of, are thoroughly crushed. Lots of damage and a pâté sorbet. That's fun to say. You've never understood the difference between sorbet and sherbet, and this puck of frozen duck liver isn't changing that. Increased cold armor. Honestly, I don't really know either. Sorbet and sherbet. I don't know if either of them are cream-based. I couldn't tell you. This pile of rocks is apparently a barrow. That is a sort of tomb made for piling up rocks. McGillicuddy called it a barrow, though, which is less clear. You'll need to borrow a dictionary. So it's a barrow that we're storing like a wheelbarrow in, I guess? You hear an ominous rhythmic quacking sound from within. Is this a cult of ducks? As though several very large ducks were chanting ancient cult rites. You peek inside the barrow and discover that, yes, indeed, several very large ducks are, in fact, chanting ancient cult rites in there. Also, the place is strewn with pig bones. And I don't know if you've learned to identify pig bones specifically, but I guess a barrow is also a type of pig. Is it? I actually don't even know if that's true. Exercise the ducks or fight them. Oh, they're not even that spooky. They're just kind of, I guess they're like a little bit ghostly. Big haunted duck. I'm a fan of this insanity. Didn't this... Yeah, okay, I'll curse everyone to apply the fire to everyone, because it's like a notably quite a strong skill. And then... I'll be able to kill the big ducks. It's just... I'm just thinking to myself, like, man, is it even worth pointing out that, oh yes, I will win this easily? worth pointing out when things are harder, probably. We'll have no more goth ducks running around, thank you very much. This is clearly crow territory. Decomposing pate, very spooky. This pate, like all of us, is slowly turning into rotten liver. Oh, so emo. Oh, there was more to it. One of the rocks is coated with grave lichen, which you get the eldritch mist. Tiny damned souls come off the lichen. You might have been excited about hunting for needles, but no such luck. This haystack is infested with barf weevils. I know weevils are a thing, and that it'd be a little bit weird if it was infested with them. But if it's barfing weevils, then yeah, I don't really want any part of that. It's not just kind of like, ooh, weird weevils with their weird hook noses. No, it's just nasty. It's the barn you've been herding ducks into. It looks like they won't be able to cause much trouble in there, but you can still fight a few if you feel like it. I should have chased everyone out without doing any fighting and then done fighting at the end. Whatever the burning duck was there just got its ass kicked. It didn't even matter at all. You won. There's a few less giant ducks in the world, or at least in this barn. But the barn is a subcategory of the world, so it's still valid. Giant pristine duck feather. This came off a duck's back as easily as something that comes off of something extremely easily. Like water off a duck's back. That's brilliant. Reduce enemy stats by 7. Quite strong, honestly. I kind of am just going to fly through things, and maybe I'll encounter the fiery duck again so I can just kind of learn a little bit more what his deal was. Good job, team. Really love seeing it all come together there. And the pristine duck feathers are good, so having like kind of a collection of those seems like it would be rather helpful. The big smoldering duck. It breathes fire, and otherwise is, yeah, that was its main thing. It was kind of its whole deal. The crushed ice we have seen. Let's do like 2 more, but I think I will have seen every kind of duck. And the types of weapon variety and things that I'm getting isn't that crazy. It's like pretty simple, repetitive. Yes, I will do 1 more of those. Yeah, I think I've seen every giant duck there is. Full encyclopedic knowledge, benefiting the world at large, so you can know how to get rid of these common nuisances. Oh, self-braising. A sizzling puck of perfectly toasted liver, and it raises hot armor. What the hell happened, man? This sheep has evidently taken up smoking cigars, and, having a human face to smoke them out of? Nice try, but you aren't pulling the wool over my eyes. Well, it was worth a shot. Hi, I'm Beatrice. I'm Graeme. Why are you disguised as a sheep? Well, I was hoboing past this place and saw a pile of coolin on the windowsill. A pie coolin. What is wrong with my brain? I can't read anything. Oh, wow. Yeah, exactly. No hobo can resist that. But just as I was sneaking up to grab it, I got attacked by a whole bunch of humongous ducks. I had to disguise myself as a sheep to get them to leave me alone. I honestly don't know if that guy was there, that this person was there the entire time and I just completely overlooked them. That's a surprisingly sensible reason. Thank you. Ask about hobo code. Are these giant ducks still wandering around? No, I took care of them. That's a huge relief. Sure, I know some farm-related hobo code. She teaches you a few symbols, most importantly pointing out the differences between the symbols for grain and fertilizer. Hobo knowledge increased, and I can tell them about the camp. There's a hobo community forming outside of Ocean City. Might be more fun for you than pretending to be a sheep out of fear for your life. Man, did I not sleep enough? Are the ducks still wandering around this place? No, I took care of them. Oh, great, my back is killing me. A long walk upright like a normal human being sounds pretty good right about now. She stands up haltingly and limps away without removing the costume. Okay. I figured I would check all the sheep just to see if any random collection of them had interactions. And no, it was just that one. Okay, I took care of those ducks for you. Aye, you did, to be sure. I'm much beholden to you, laddie. Couldn't have dealt with them ducks, dukes, and me own, that's for certies. Was there something you was wanting then? Oh, right. I met a lady named Xenia, who said she loaned you a paperweight and she needs it back. Paperweight, she called it. Well, no, I suppose it could be in a pinch. Here you are, then, and tell her, how's it going for me? Xenia's paperweight. Ah, it's that kind of paperweight. It's brass knuckles, it looks like. I don't really know how that connects to paperweights whatsoever. Took care of the ducks, yeah, good thing. Nope, just reminiscing about old side quests. Well, I obviously have to follow up on that, but where I feel that I am most needed, where I most want to go and follow up on things, I could use a paperclip. Sure, I'll buy one. I don't know how many I'm sitting on at the moment. Let's take a look. I have a shitload of them, just the most, nearly the most imaginable, so there's that. Where was it? It was right at the end here, this fridge. Experimental, not for lunches. The fridge has been fitted with an experimental automatic ice cube maker. Unfortunately, it's made one single gigantic ice cube that fills the entire fridge. I guess if you ever need a block of ice as big as you, here's where you can get it. Does this not do anything? I forgot that it had a giant block of ice, not that it needed one. Well, that's not at all what I was going for there, so I guess I'm just gonna go back here and I'll bring the speakeasy, the block of ice. Maybe I've nearly filled in all the available different drink making ingredients and components at this point. I would have to assume I've gotten awfully close at least. Straight up. No messages, although maybe I should talk to like Charles Wallace and just see what he's got going on in his life. He's captured for all that time. Cool, baby. Right. I guess you probably, I keep drinking the beer. You're probably not going to be able to put beer on ice. Oh, I can remove the geese? I'm going to clear this up. What are you doing with more geese? Don't worry, I'm about to get rid of all the geese. I wouldn't have thought, oh, it just gets rid of it without actually having to do anything. I didn't even have to go in the machine. Oh, maybe I still would. With just a little pain and that familiar squirt of, a familiar squirt of pus. It's just two typos really close together. The geese is gone. Barely even hurt that time. Bring on the next one. Okay, that worked without actually needing to do anything. No actual follow-up on that whatsoever. Alrighty then, easy does it. The paperweight at Jasper's feed and tack. Yes, it was just in like that initial area. That makes sense. I think it was like one of the first things I was given. See around. There we go. You get my paperweight back from Macmillican Cuddy yet? Why did you say it like that? No reason. Oh, paperweight. Yes. Got it right here. Ah, good. She slides the paperweight onto her hand and smacks it against her left palm a couple times. It's that feeling. Thanks. Don't mention it. Well, I suppose I won't then. I'll just keep that to myself. I do not have that many quests piled up right now, and the doctoring the evidence, I have not figured anything out. A weird amount of time left that I want to fill in, so I'm going to do a couple quick wanders. The wind blows the thing in your face, nostalgic. You've seen that before. Maybe it's a different headline, though. Izzy, I stashed the meat from the bank job under the old burnt tree. No, I think I very specifically have seen that. People are hiding things all over the place, burying treasure left and right in this world. A pitiful, scarce crow slumps in a field, frightening nobody. Crows bring their friends to laugh at him, make a scarier crow. You embellish it with extra eyes and demonic smile, and the crows bursts into tears. They're only children. It does seem quite mean then, doesn't it? In the midst of a burnt-out orchard, you happen upon an apple tree that is still on fire. You do your best, but the apples dissolve into a sizzling mess when you touch them. You keep the sizzling mess out of spite. The phlogistic resin. I can't explain why, but just the word, the pair of words phlogistic resin, was stuck in my head like 3 days ago, and I felt like I just kept saying it over and over and over again. If I wasn't doing anything, my brain was just going, phlogistic resin, phlogistic resin, phlogistic resin, just trying it out, because phlogistic is just a weird word that's kind of like a little bit fun to say, but it's not that crazy. There's an ominous crack in the sky, and in the space of a single charged second, the wide farm road is drenched with fast-falling rain that bites to the bone. It's farm rain, all right. Cold as ice and twice as nasty. The long and level plains of this country offer no shelter, except perhaps for a lone house you spy off in the distance. Perhaps half a mile to the east. I could run there or keep going. Like, that's interesting. It, like, forces you to go there if you don't have the cold armor, which I'm guessing means there's something interesting about this house. Oh, no. Oh, damn it, man. I didn't mean to do that. But I guess in the meantime, I will paint this fence for funsies. Just get experience or something. The work of painting is so soothing, it seems to be over in a second. Well, I'm an absolute idiot. I clicked the wrong thing. I'm going to have to go back and gather up Alphonse. And unless I want to try someone else. Maybe I've been using him long enough, you know? Alphonse is dancing. Gabby's doing her thing. Who else? There's the I can't even take the goblin. I thought the goblin was one of them. I do like Professor Adams. Molly. Molly was my first one, I think. Let's go take Sarah care of some business. How about you just you join back on the team? We become a unit together again, I guess. I don't know. A bunch of things I could pay them. But I'm definitely not going to. Absolutely not. Why would I? Her starting attack there really isn't that strong. I guess it could end up coming in handy in very specific instances, but it's not much of anything. So I don't know, maybe she's not a very great ally or anything, but I can always level her up, and then maybe, you know, maybe she just is due for that a little bit. That'll teach them a lesson about demanding fair compensation for their labor. Wait, that's not a good lesson. The boiling devil bile. This vile fluid is nearly too hot to handle, let alone handle with your mouth, which is a way of describing drinking something. It's certainly one way. And molten paperweight. These knuckles were forged in Hell's famous city of brass, where the candles burn at 3 ends. Oh, it's brack knuckles. I'm being silly. Tell them to keep it up. And Molly, hey Buck over here, she specifically wants to talk. I don't know if that's a Gray County thing or if it's this house or what. Unsinkable Molly buttons. She shoots you a wink. Well, that's exciting. It might just be a level up. It might be something like that, but I'll handle it next time. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you again soon.